You might have noticed that the MATLAB toolbar contains this tab called Plots, but in the beginning of a session, the different plot types are all greyed out. This is because we need to input some data first of all, which we want to plot. I'll start off by making a plot of sin x in the range x equals minus pi to x equals pi. I'm going to take 15 points, so I'll first define x equals linspace minus pi to pi with 15 points. The corresponding y values are given by y equals sin x. Then I can highlight the two variables in the workspace and select the basic plot type from the toolbar. MATLAB has also helpfully shown in the command window the code that would be needed to produce this plot. There are many different plot types indicated on the toolbar. If you click this drop down arrow, you can see the whole lot. Depending on the subject you're studying, you'll find different types of plots useful. However, if you start selecting these different types, you probably won't get very helpful or meaningful results without first reading about them in the MATLAB help guide, because they all need different types of input data. If you want to read about how to create a particular type of plot, mouse over it and select More Help. This opens a small window, but to see it full screen you can select Open Help Browser. Here you'll find some detailed examples to help you using the different plot types. In this video we'll focus on the plot and scatter types. I can switch between these two different plot types by selecting them. Every time I make a new selection, the old plot is being overwritten by the new one, so I'm not getting lots of plot windows opening up. This default behaviour can be changed by toggling these radio buttons up here to say whether we want to reuse the old figure or make a new figure. Now I have more than one plot window open, Figure 1 and Figure 2. Notice that the MATLAB command window again tells me the code that's needed to achieve this behaviour. Before the plot command, we need to invoke a figure command. When I type figure, it opens up a new window and makes this window active. When I invoke the plot command, MATLAB creates the plot on the currently active figure window. If I selected a different figure window manually, then MATLAB would produce the plot on that active window. The plot command only creates a new figure window if no figures have already been created. As you can see, the only difference between the plot and scatter types is that the plot function joins up the points. Actually, this plot is completely customizable, and it can be made to replicate the behaviour of the scatter function, so I generally don't use the scatter function at all. We'll see how to do this in the video about plot properties. Looking at the figure that's being produced, we can see that there are loads of different options that we can play with. From the File menu, we can save the figure, or we can generate code. We'll look at these features in the Saving Figures video. From the Tools menu, we can do basic fitting. This will allow us to fit a straight line or a curve to the given data. We won't use this option though, because in another video I'll show you a way to fit functions to data using the curve fitting toolbox, which is more powerful. Data statistics just gives us a list of common properties, such as the mean values and the maximum values, that sort of thing. There are also a lot of options related to the appearance of the plot. Most of these options can also be accessed from the property editor that's under the drop-down Edit menu. We'll investigate some of these options in the Plot Properties video. The last thing I'll show you in this video is how we can update the plot data. With only 15 points, the curve doesn't look very smooth. I might decide that I want to change the x and y data to use more points. Let's create 1000 x and y values. Then, instead of creating a new plot, we can go to the property editor, click on the curve to access the data, and we'll select Refresh Data from here. This can be useful if you spent time changing the appearance of your plot and you then want to change the data without having to start from scratch.